everybody? Welcome to Underground. We got your boy Saint CJ in the building.
Come on.
How you doing? You all right?
Very well, bro. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. You bought some fire before. It was so good. I loved it.
You,
and every time I hear you do a track as well, it's always this thing at the start. It always goes, "It's your boy." I love it. Like, I know if I'm listening to a track, if you're coming on, I know I'm going to get that little vocal thing.
Yeah,
100%. So the track you just bought, what's it called?
What's Left.
What's Left. And that was an Underground exclusive, everybody.
Underground exclusive.
What's Left. So what was that about?
So What's Left is essentially looking at life when you're trying to strive or attain or you're trying to get things. I think a big part of my struggle was I felt like my identity was based on my performance and the things I had. So when you lose everything, you now ask yourself, who am I? Like, what do I have if I don't have finances, if I don't have community, if I don't have certain things, like, who am I? And a big part of my story is, like, obviously financial struggles and losing finances, losing family members in the pandemic, went through a lot of bereavement.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
And then obviously, like, losing community. When I left my church, I lost everyone. And I had to restart in a new church and start all again. So it's a lot of hurt, a lot of pain. And What's Left is basically saying, when I have nothing else, God, you are it for me.
Jeez, that's amazing. So you mentioned your story there and about your history. We'll get onto that in a minute. But what does Saint CJ mean? Just do a quick little thing about Saint CJ, then we'll go into your story as a Christian.
Yeah, so Saint CJ is the term saint simply means, child of God, God's beloved, chosen, royal priesthood, forgiven. And that's the simple term. So I was once a sinner. I used to not know God. I used to be broken. I used to be full of shame and depression and condemnation. But now in Christ, I'm a new creation. I'm no longer that person. I'm no longer defined by my mistakes. I'm no longer defined by the things I've done. I'm now a saint. I'm now God's child. I'm now a new person. So,
mate, that is so powerful.
Thank you.
And it's so true as well. And as I go around Britain, because I end up seeing a lot of young people, and that is something that people struggle with the most. It's like before Christ, the BC me, before BC, Christ me was this kind of person, and they can't get over, now that they've had revelation of Jesus, the fact that they've had this been involved in, or stuff they've done is so difficult. So it's so powerful that that's your name as well, man. And the CJ, I'm assuming is your name.
Yes. So simple Callum J.
Nice.
And then J is a Jaye. So growing up, my nickname was CJ.
Nice.
And then just Saint CJ kind of worked.
Nice. So before you were mentioning your story about how you were a Christian, so how did you become a Christian? Or like, what was that journey? Was that a journey? Were you always, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I didn't grow up in a Christian home. I grew up in a single parent household. So there was no kind of faith involved in my childhood. And a lot of it was very much agnostic. So I used to believe in something. But I never used to really believe in God or religion, because the way religion was painted to me was very, controlling and, if God is real, why do bad things happen? And this Jesus guy was just a good person. Like, it was very much a religion. It wasn't a relationship with God, like a personal thing. So most of my life until I was 16, never had a faith, never really cared about God. I just lived my life. But I realized my faith journey started where I was in such a dark place. I was suicidal at the age of 14, 5 times, tried to commit suicide. I was in and out of hospital, psychiatric support, hospital, Maudsley's, CAMS, these different things in London we have, this hospital support. Because I was severely suicidal, depressed, anxious, angry. And then it carried on into anxiety that led me down all different roads of addictions. So I was smoking weed, pornography, many things I guess a lot of young people can relate to, but that was a big part of my life, was just this big void in me. I need to try and fill it. So whether that would be going to parties, trying to be successful, trying to, make money, relationships that were really toxic, more like situationships, and just all these different things. But lust left me broken, and depression left me broken, and all these things just left me empty, and I couldn't fill it with addictions. So it was until I was 16 I ended up committing a criminal offence. So my kind of journey went into crime. when I was about 15, started getting to wrong crowds, wrong people, one of my best friends. His uncle was like a notorious gang member, like a gang leader. So I ended up getting exposed to that. I wasn't heavily involved, thank God. But I started seeing, you know, what it looks like to sell drugs, it looks like to be involved in violence, it looks like to hold a knife. And I started seeing that I don't want this life for myself, but it seems like the only route from where I'm from, you know, South London is so rampant. So there's no other way out, and I want to do something. I want to do well for my mum. I want to provide. I want to, you know, and I feel like this is the only way. So I ended up committing GBH, and that is grievous bodily harm. So me and my friend beat up someone really badly. Police got involved, and I was meant to get excluded from education. I was 15. You know, just come out of, you know, hospital, in and out of school, failing school, most underachieving student my year. I was meant to get like zeros in every single subject. I was just, my life was just a mess, and I was just trying to fix it, and nothing could fix it. And I had these two friends, you know, I'll never forget them, man. George and Alfred.
Yes, George and Alfred.
Listen,
you
big up
look
to
so
Alfred.
gassed.
No, because, you know, and that's, you know, they're my boys, man. And they've continued to be my friends from when I was in primary school.
Wow.
But I saw their lives, and I shall never forget that they always tell me, like, come church, you know, maybe make you feel better. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I remember one time they were meant to take me to church on a Sunday. And I was like, oh I've got a bellyache. I was going to link girls in Croydon. I was not like, there was no way I was going to go to church, because church for me was old. I went to Catholic school. So church for me was like old, traditional, rigid. It wasn't vibrant, it wasn't free, it wasn't lit live. It wasn't for young people. It was for like, when I'm like 50, 60 and I've lived life, maybe I'll try God. But and then I ended up having this fence. And I remember I spoke to him at that time, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get kicked out of school. I'm a failing in education. My teacher's giving up on me. Like, my life is just a mess. They're like, have you actually ever tried God? It's like, but what's God done for me? Like, what could God do for me? And they ended up telling me their stories and the things they get through. And one thing that they told me, which was so profound, is that I had a really toxic relationship with my dad. I didn't have one, and I hated it. Like, with everything inside of me, I said, I hated you because you abandoned me. You've never been in my life. But they had the similar testimony, but they were able to forgive him.
Wow.
And that was something I was like, how can you forgive someone that's never been there for you? How can you abandoned you and abandoned your family? They're like, it's because of God, because God forgave us. And that just stuck with me. And I remember I just prayed, never prayed in my life. And I was the day before my court case. I was meant to have a case. I was meant to be written off of school. I said, God, if you're real and this thing is true, and, you know, I'm not going to get kicked out of school, if this is the final meeting, if you're real and I don't get kicked out of school and this meeting doesn't happen anymore, I'll actually live for you, and I'll actually live the rest of my life. I wasn't even Christian, so I was like, share who you are. And that kind of an idea, like you have to share God or whatever, but I'm just going to let people know what you've done for me, basically. The next day, the meeting got dismissed, everything was cancelled, everything was finished, and the charge against me was revoked. So even when you look on my record, there is no criminal record.
Wow.
I stayed in school. They said, I'm going to give you a second chance. I remember my head teacher told me, we believe in a God of second chances here. And that's why we're giving you a second chance.
Wow.
So I remember I was just bawling my eyes out. And I was like, well, God, I guess you're real then. And I went to church that Sunday. I remember it was the 25th of July, 2015. I'll never forget it. Gave my life to Christ. That was 6 years ago. And since then, like depression, not saying I haven't gone through hard times, but God has always been with me through depression. He's healed me. He set me free from addiction, like pornography and masturbation. He set me free from smoking. He set me free from so many things that held me down. And even in the pains of life that I've gone through, God has been so faithful, and he's been there through it all. Like, I know who I am now. I know that I've got to perform. I know that I'm loved. I know that I'm seen. And like now I'm a youth mentor. So I've gone from being like a rebel in school to now helping other young people find their identity, find their purpose, find their life. And that's something that it could only be God. So I'm literally, my life has been turned 360 by Jesus Christ, man, literally.
Mate, I got goosebumps.
Oh, glory to God.
You know what's amazing is like, I'm obviously I'm a Christian. I've been a Christian now. When I became a Christian when I was 18, which is like 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And it never ceases to amaze me how incredible God drastically changes people's lives. Like, crazy, and he's done the same with you.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, actually, to anybody who's watching this, if you feel like you've been in the same place or in the same place that CJ was in, I encourage you to pray. I
Yeah.
encourage you to pray that prayer, right? And I believe that God will incredibly and amazingly, we both know that God will amazingly, incredibly come into your life and he will answer your prayer.
Amen.
So I encourage you to pray right now. Jesus is alive and real, and he has an amazing and incredible plan for your life.
Amen.
Gotta throw that in, right?
Amen. Come on, that's what it's about, man.
Because it's true.
It's very true.
Amazing. Your music, right? You're releasing this year. Am I
Yes,
right in thinking
I
that?
am.
You're
I
So
am.
we're not sure when this is going to go out, this specific interview.
Yeah.
But you are releasing this year. So tell us about the
Yes.
projects that you got going on.
Yeah, so I've got, I'm praying, hopefully, God willing, I will release 3 tapes this year. That's
Wow.
the plan. And they're all different. So the first tape that I know that's for sure for now, because life happens, is April the 15th, which might be when this releases or might be
Yeah,
before.
we think so. Yeah.
I'll be releasing a Good Friday
Jeez.
fully gospel project, and that's gonna be in terms of genre gospel. It's gonna have old school soul in there, some Afro beats kind of,
Yeah, man.
worship vibe, and then like worship music, and then also a little bit of some trap soul and a little bit some modern stuff too, but kind of with a contemporary feel. So yeah, I'm making a proper gospel EP.
Go on.
Every season with an incredible collective of worship, a worship collective in Ireland. So I thought it'd be cool because I'm Irish on my mum's side, Callum, Irish name. So I thought it'd be cool to like work with someone that's Irish, like a collective that's Irish. And so that should be out in April.
Nice. So either way, there will be links in the description here of some. Whenever this comes out, hopefully it will be a link to that project.
Definitely.
Hopefully.
That would be wicked.
So go check out the links below. Everything Saint CJ will be in there. We will put it in there for you. And also, if you came from the actual freestyle, it will be in the bio of that freestyle.
100%.
We'll do it like that. That's amazing. Anything else? Anything else you got going on? I tell you what, actually, this is exciting from my perspective. We have the first ever underground event at Spring Harvest, and it just so happens that our guy Saint CJ is performing.
Yes.
So we're gassed about
that's
that.
gonna be big.
We got an amazing lineup. It's Still Shady and Saint CJ. So I tell you what,
it's gonna be big.
I think that's pretty
big. It's gonna be big.
So thank you so much for being with us, mate.
Thank you for having me.
It's been an
Appreciate
absolute honor. Got chills when you were doing your freestyle.
Wow.
Got chills during this interview. It's a pleasure to have you, my man.
Wow. God bless you.
God bless you. And thank you everybody for watching. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you check out Saint CJ. Quickly, CJ, what are your socials? So how can people get you?
So you can find me at Saint CJ_ on Instagram. And then on my Instagram is all my link tree at the bottom. And then you'll find me on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. And also you can find me via my website where you can see my ebook. I've written an autobiography. It's about my life and my journey.
Go on. Jeez.
I wrote it in lockdown last year, and it's called The Overcomer. It's all about the life-changing story of a 20-year-old South London boy. And what God has done for me. And it tells a little bit more of my journey. I'm looking to make a sequel, God willing. So hopefully that will come out this year, but I'm just going to see what happens. But that should be as well. It will tell a bit more of my story and a bit more about, what was mentioned and what's left and stuff. So,
Amazing. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. We'll see you soon. Peace.
Peace.